So I made this video with first-time flyers in mind, as well as with families traveling with lab children or with small children. If you're traveling with a lab child, then you will not be able to check in on your mobile device or at the kiosk. The kiosk is for those traveling with children over the age of 2, where you're able to check in as well as print your tag for your luggage. But if you're traveling with a lab child, then you need to get in line, and an agent will have to print your boarding pass because they need to verify the age of the child. So you will need either a picture of their birth certificate or a physical copy, as well as your ID and passport. You're able to check in for free a car seat and a stroller. You will then head over to TSA, where you will present to them your boarding pass and your ID to verify that you are who you say you are. You will then undergo a full body scan, as well as any of your carry-on items that you're bringing with you. So a couple of tips when you are flying with luggage: make sure that all your check-in bags have tags with your contact information. In case that the airline loses your bag, they need to know who it belongs to, how to get in contact with you, and your address so they can ship it to you. Don't worry if you don't have a tag. Every airline should have some available at the counter. Also, make sure that depending who you're flying with, what the maximum weight is. So for example, Southwest, it's 50 pounds. That means that this bag cannot exceed 50 pounds. Whereas Spirit, it's 40 pounds. So what that means is if you're, let's say, 47 pounds, if you can take 7 pounds out, great. But if not, you're going to have to pay for a second bag. The second bag always costs more than the first bag. So the great thing about Southwest is that every individual who has a paid ticket, you get to take 2 check-in bags for free. No other airline in the United States does that. Every other airline, you have to pay for your check-in bag, and that can range from $25 to $35. So let's go with Spirit. Spirit will charge you $35, and this is going and coming. So $35 going, another $35 coming. That $70 you are spending only on luggage. They actually charge more for carry-on than they do for check-in. Again, the great thing about Southwest, you don't have to worry about that. And if you are traveling somewhere for a long period of time, or you're taking a lot of gifts, then it's great that you have 2 bags for free that you don't have to worry about. Also, if you have any sensitive, fragile items, make sure you put them in the middle, because they throw these bags all kinds of ways. So anything fragile, you don't want to put them near here, because sometimes they throw bags on top of your bag. Another thing is, if you have a connecting flight, your luggage, and this is in the United States, when you're traveling domestically, your luggage will meet you in your final destination. So for example, we're flying from Baltimore to Fort Lauderdale. If I had a connecting flight that was going from Baltimore to North Carolina, my luggage would meet me in Fort Lauderdale. That means you do not have to check out of the airport to go get your luggage, because your luggage is going to meet you in your final destination. This is only for domestic flights. International flights, it's something completely different. So make sure you do not leave. You just have to go to the next gate to get on the next flight to get to your final destination. I hope that makes sense. Don't forget to put any lotions, conditioners, any liquid that you may have, whether it's makeup, medicine, anything that exceeds 3 ounces, you need to put it in your check-in bag. Because what's going to happen is, if you take, let's say, a brand new bottle of lotion with you in your carry-on bag, and it goes through TSA, they're going to throw your bottle away. They don't care if it's new, and you're not going to have a chance to put it in your luggage, because at that point, your luggage is going to be long gone. So make sure that anything that goes in your carry-on needs to be 3 ounces or less per container. For example, this is 2 ounces. If you don't have travel size, then you want to make sure you go to the store. They sell these everywhere. The dollar store, Walmart, Target. These are travel plastic containers. They're less than 3 ounces. And you can put whatever lotion, medicine, makeup you may have. That way it can go in your carry-on bag. I like to use these carry-on bags because it allows me to organize, and I try not to exceed what's in these bags, because obviously everything is like in super small containers. The other great thing about these bags is that if anything gets wasted, any liquid, it it stays within the bag and it doesn't harm your clothing. But just to be sure, sometimes some liquids, they still spill, so I usually put them in a plastic Ziploc bag so it doesn't get over everything else, which has happened to me numerous of times. A good thing to know is that you are allowed to bring food with you, whether it's hot food or snacks, through TSA. They will not take that away from you. They may ask you to put it out in regards to take it out of your backpack or your suitcase. One thing that you're not allowed to bring is water or soda. That you do have to purchase, or you can fill a water bottle once you get through TSA. If you are a parent that breastfeeds their child, make sure that your milk is frozen. Or if you give your child formula, then you can bring a bottle of water and just have proof of the formula. You then want to pull out your ticket and go to the gate that is on your boarding pass. Here it says gate 21. Your boarding group is group C, and they start boarding at 1 and your flight takes off at 1:30. So all that information is on your boarding pass. If you're traveling with lap children, then you can disregard your boarding group and you can just board when they call out families traveling with small children. You can also ask in the counter because every airline is different. And then here you will head to your gate. You will obviously follow the directions that are above once going through TSA. Once you arrive to your gate, you want to make sure you ask the flight attendant for a tag for your stroller, because when you start boarding, you're going to have to drop it off at the end of the tunnel. Depending how early you get to the airport, they typically recommend 2 hours prior to your flight leaving for domestic flights and 3 hours for international flights. I like to find quiet places where I can let my son just play. That way he doesn't get too frustrated when we are on the flight, or I just walk with him in his stroller. So these are just some tips. And then finally, you can board the flight once your group number is called, or if you have priority, you can board first. Once you get in the flight, you can put your luggage above one of those cabinets. If you have a purse or a backpack, anything smaller, then you want to put it underneath the seats in front of you. Your assigned seat will be on your ticket, and the letter lets you know whether you're sitting in the aisle, the center, or by the window. Some airlines you have to pay to sit with family, whereas other airlines like Southwest, you could just pick your seat based on boarding. Then you will hear the flight attendant give instructions about emergencies, where to exit, how to put your seatbelt on. So make sure you listen to that, especially if it's your first time flying. I also would highly recommend you all to bring wipes, because even though the airlines are doing that, you just want to be sure, especially with little ones, because as you can see, they touch on everything. I wipe down the windows, I wipe down our seats, the seats in front of us. So just a heads up. Also bring something to entertain your child, whether it's a tablet or it's games or it's books. You finally get to enjoy the flight. My son typically goes to sleep, but sometimes I have to bring toys for him. Afterwards, once the flight arrives, you want to make sure you grab all of your belongings. You don't want to forget anything, and then you have to wait as people start to exit the flight. Don't forget to pick up your stroller, which you're going to have to wait for it. It's going to be once you exit the flight, that same area where you dropped it off. Then you want to head to baggage claim. Just look at the signs, and you want to obviously get on the elevator if you have a stroller, and you want to make sure to listen to what carousel your baggage is coming through. Here you can see what I did when I had my child's car seat with his stroller and I'm traveling alone. I usually stack it up. If you're having someone pick you up, then you want to tell them what airline or terminal you're located at. You also want to add anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes from the time that your flight is supposed to arrive. That way they're not waiting for you while you're waiting for your luggage, because that's typically how long it takes to get your luggage. Be mindful that our airports are different in regards to the different exits you have to take, whether you're catching an Uber or public transportation or a hotel shuttle or a rental car shuttle. The good thing is that some airports have the rental cars already stationed with them, so you don't have to catch a shuttle, you just go through a tunnel. So just make sure that you're reading the signs and you're asking for any type of help. I hope this video was very helpful, and make sure you comment if you have any additional questions.